What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods, where I, according to Woods, along with former UFC champion Pius Inololobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus, are going to break down this weekend's UFC 256. And oh my gosh, Voodoo, what is going on? Are you casting spells over there at UFC Apex? Because we had count them, four fights drop out we haven't even gotten into weigh-ins yet. Like, wow. What say you?
Let me tell you something. Breaking news. So, over the past 6 years, we're going back to approximately December 2014. An antitrust lawsuit was filed by approximately 6 athletes back then. Now, 6 years later, Judge Richard Boldware has announced to allow the antitrust lawsuit to move on to the second level. Now, here's the catch. Now, there's two types of fighters. The first type is called the bout class, which are more current fighters, and the second type is called the identity class. Now, the identity class are the old fighters such as, for example, Nick Quarry. Now, the identity class fighters cannot be covered under this lawsuit. Their time is up. However, the bout class. So previously there were 6. Now they're 5. Right? But the judge also allowed many, many more fighters under this class action lawsuit. So now we have 1,214 fighters under this lawsuit, seeking between $800 million and $1.6 billion. Now, it's fantastic. This is fantastic news. However, this is just the beginning. Remember, these 1,214 fighters are going up against the system itself, the UFC, the number one monopoly. So I like to wish those guys, first of all, a congratulations on moving forward, and good luck to you because you guys are gonna have to band together, stand strong together to even make a dent against the UFC. I mean, this is good news, but the UFC ain't gonna go down without a fight. You know what I mean? 800 million, upwards of 1.6 billion. That's a lot of money that they don't want to part way with. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, so I'm actually pulling it up here. Let's see if I can do this. Microsoft Edge tab. Yeah, so here we go. So we've got exactly that. We've got essentially in a big win for the plaintiffs in the years-long lawsuit of UFC antitrust. U.S. District Judge Richard Boldware had certified it a class action status. Boldware made the announcement on Thursday, granted the same certification for the bout class, but did not grant the same for the identity class, which he spoke of, Voodoo. The decision is expected after Boldware tipped his hand back in September. So, wow, that is, I mean, crazy news starting off Voodoo in the Woods. My goodness. So, your initial thoughts? I mean, you did say that this is a big win, right? And this, kind of being a historian of both MMA and pro wrestling, more pro wrestling than MMA, this is very similar to the class action lawsuit, the antitrust lawsuit that independent pro wrestlers put against the National Wrestling Alliance back in 1950 some odd. right? So this is one where again, um, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Because I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh, pro wrestling, fooey, blah blah blah, whatever." But this is one where, like, obviously, I think fighters could have benefited from pro wrestling, right? And especially the fact that pro wrestlers, even without a particular union or anything of that suit, pardon the pun, but the pro wrestlers on the top tier, the MMA, I mean the WWE, the Impact Wrestling, and even AEW, are getting paid more than, I mean, per year than the equal level UFC fighter or Bellator fighter. So, man, this is crazy. But like you said, they're going to have to band together, which I don't know if people, I mean, if fighters will, because people are different. People are fickle, right? And fighters are people at the end of the day. I come in contact with, I use, for example, Tony Ferguson, and we'll kind of get into it, but his interview with Brett Okamoto, which was cringeworthy. It was difficult. And shout out to Brett Okamoto for ESPN for conducting that interview, because I don't know if I could have. That was an abyss. That was an abyss, right? So as it relates to this particular lawsuit, right? Tony Ferguson, who marches to the beat of his own drum, to put it very simply, right? He will have to kind of get some sort of, I don't know, like kinship with maybe a Habib Nurmagomedov, John Jones, like, I mean, fighters past and present. You're trying to say the biggest names along with some of the lesser names that are signed to the UFC roster, and it's crazy to me that this is coming out. You know why? Because what did Dana White say in the last press conference? Do you remember?
What did he say? No, what did he say?
Well, Yoel Romero got cut after a 7-year, I guess, opportunity, not a career, as Dana White liked to put it, but after a 7-year opportunity in the UFC, which sounds weird to say, right? But theoretically speaking, he actually said after it, he's just like, there's going to be a bloodbath, and upwards of like 80 fighters that are going to be cut, right? So this is so you're basically going to get all of those fighters cut, plus fighters past and present, champions and non-champions, people from different countries, people from different cities, people different gyms. Like, that is a twisted labyrinth to kind of go down. Now, I mean, yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of pieces to unpack, but again, if it's to help the fighters, and we both are advocates of the fighters, not so much, I wouldn't say not so much the promotion, but like, again, if no fighters, there wouldn't be anything to promote, right? So right, exactly. So there's that.
It's a symbiotic relationship. The promotion needs the fighters as much as the fighters need the promotion. The promotion provides a platform, and the fighters go upon the platform and dance and do what they got to do to make the show happen. You know what I mean? We need each other. That is understood. However, this whole thing reminds me of that movie Rudy. Remember Rudy? Rudy was a hardworking kid from Boston, wherever he's from. He wanted to go to Notre Dame all his life. He worked hard. He made it to Notre Dame. When he made it to Notre Dame, he's got to walk on the team. You know what I mean? And there is no guarantee he can even step on the field. But Rudy, he fought, and he made it. He made it to a point where his teammates respected him. And from that, the teammates were unwilling to play in the national championship or whatever it was. They were unwilling to play if Rudy doesn't get dressed and get to walk out of the tunnel. This is a situation where we have here all the starting players in the UFC have to take off their jersey, put that jersey down. If if this show is successful, they have to be able to put their jerseys down and say, if Rudy's not playing, I'm not playing. If these 1,240 fighters aren't getting paid, I'm not fighting for you. If they all can band together and do this, they can win.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But that's one of my favorite movies, and it didn't. It didn't catch me. That this is the exact same situation. Obviously, it's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but it is absolutely true. It's just like you have to get all fighters that have fought under the UFC banner, past, present, and even the reverberation will be in future generations, right? So I don't know, and what the punitive damages are, the estimated punitive damages, that's what, like a quarter, like a third of the UFC's total evaluation. So this is,
yes,
I
significant.
guess would be worst case scenario for the UFC. But damn, that's buddy, man.
It's a
Wow.
long time coming. It's a long time
It
coming.
is.
These fighters are due. They're due. They have earned it. They have bled. They have damaged their brains. They have damaged their bodies. It's time for the UFC to break bread. It's time to break bread. You know what I mean? Enough monopoly. Enough. What was that word? There was another word that I just learned today. Something about controlling the market. What is this word? Monopsony. I learned a new word today.
Okay.
Monopsony. It's when one
Okay.
company controls the entire market. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
enough of it. Enough of it. Time to break bread. And if you are going to control the company, the entire monopoly, pay your fighters. You have all the money. Pay your fighters. It's time to pay your fighters. And it's time for people like Tony Ferguson to get recognition. You know what I mean? He will also benefit from this lawsuit.
Yeah,
Everyone
he will.
now and to come will
He
benefit from
will.
this lawsuit. But they all have to stand together now. This is the time to stand together, man. There is momentum. Momentum has been created by this judge. This judge has allowed Judge Richard Boldware. Shout out to Judge Richard Boldware for even allowing these people to be heard. You know what I mean? Now you can hear their cries. Once we hear their cries, then you'll be able to put faces to these cries. And once you're able to put faces to it, it becomes real, it becomes tangible. You can touch it. You know what I mean? Once these fighters were gone, we forget about them. But this judge has put the platform and put the camera and the spotlight on these fighters. Now we can see their faces again. Now we're not only going to see their faces, we're going to see their broken faces, their broken spirits. You know what I mean? Kung Lee is one of this. Shout out to Kung Lee. Kung Lee is one of the
Yeah.
people that's still riding and fighting. Mark Hunt is still there. Shout out to these folks. You know what I mean? Congratulations to them, and I wish you guys great luck.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we will see. This is the first, like, I guess, incremental step in looks to be a marathon of legal proceedings, and it's crazy, right? Because not to talk politics, right? But essentially, uh, the current president, right? The current president is friends with Dana White, and much like he's friends with Vincent McMahon, right? Vincent Kennedy McMahon, right? So the thing about it is, we have three justices. That's like unheard of. That we're as Supreme Court justices here in the United States that are friends, that were put in place by a president that is friends with, I guess, one of the chief complaints in Dana White. So this is going to get really, really interesting. This is pro wrestling AF, man. So we shall see. But again, kudos to all of you guys, like guys and gals, because you guys deserve what you're worth for putting your lives and bodies in there, to do.
Yes.
For our entertainment.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. From the beginning to now, gratitude. gratitude for your sacrifice. You know, you guys are sacrificing in front of millions, billions, and you never fold. You never back down. You always go out and you always give your best. So, I mean, time sacrifice from family, time sacrifice from self. You know what I mean? Just the sacrifice. I understand the sacrifice, and on your level, I understand. I understand the sacrifice on a small scale. You know what I mean? I was only in MMA for a small period of time, but you guys, you made it to the top of the mountain, and you gave you that is the ultimate sacrifice. You make it to the top of the mountain, you let everything around you burn, so you can make it to the top of the mountain. Now you're at the top of the mountain, and you still sacrifice it. You know what I mean? And it's time that you get your due. So I wish you all luck, and don't forget to stand together. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna need it. But one thing that we're going to need, at least the UFC is going to need going into this lawsuit, is a way to generate income. And they are doing it with UFC 256. So we will jump into that because, and we're pulling it right here on screen. But here is the card, and we start the night. With a featherweight bout. It is essentially, well, actually, before we get into that, right? Before we get into the actual card, look at what we've got here in terms of the amount of fights that dropped off. My goodness, Voodoo, like holy smokes, man! This is different, right? This is great. Wait, I want Voodoo. There you go. There we go.
Hey, COVID remains undisputed. COVID will beat
Undefeated.
down Khabib Nurmagomedov. COVID will beat down Khabib Nurmagomedov. Every fighter that's gone up against COVID has lost. You know what I mean? Jacare better watch out.
Jacare.
Jacare better
He was the
watch
first
out.
casualty.
Jacare,
He was the first.
COVID is undisputed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. Hey, but shout out to those who are stepping in to fill in those gaps. Because like Angela Hill fell out, right?
Yep.
But a young lady from RFA stepped in. I believe her name is Hughes.
Yep, Samantha Hughes.
She stepped in there. Yeah, she
Yeah.
stepped in there to yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to see Samantha do her thing. You know what I mean? This is the part of the sacrifice that we spoke of. You know what I mean? Samantha has sacrificed everyone around her so she can make it to the top. Now she's at the top, facing a top 15 opponent immediately. A top 15 opponent. You know? And wow.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, I mean, it's incredible. So obviously we've got it was supposed to be Andrea KGB Lee against Julian Robertson, but Lee broke her nose. Sergey Spivak versus Jared Vandana. Vandana just tested positive this morning for COVID. Then Carl Robertson versus Dalcha Lambingubula. Yeah. I know right? Bula because that's hello in Fijian. So Bula. The other stuff in front of it, I don't understand. But essentially, Carl Robinson in that particular outing tested positive for COVID. Then we were supposed to have the Tiny Tornado against Angela Overkill Hill, but Hill tested positive for COVID. Then Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. That was supposed to be another title fight, right? That was supposed to bookend this. This was in the original main event, but Peter Yan essentially pulled out for personal reasons. Then Marvin Vettori versus Jacare Souza. Vettori got rebooked, obviously, last week, and but that was supposed to happen on this card. So we had the switcheroo from Souza testing positive for COVID earlier in the year, and then Marvin Vettori fighting last week. Then Dwight Grant versus Jinglang Yi, where Dwight Grant tested positive for COVID. Marvin Vettori and Omar Akhmedov. Akhmedov basically withdrew. So again, that was one of the reasons why we had Vettori last weekend in the main event, and I mean he made good on his promise, and he took out the Joker, Jack Hermanson. Then another one, which I mean, any fight fan would have been crazy to see how this worked out, but former Invicta and UFC strawweight champion Carla Cookie Monster Esparza against Amanda Ribas. And then we were supposed to also have Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, but Usman is recovering from injury. And then Amanda Nunes against Megan Anderson. Nunes withdrew because in personal reasons, right? I mean, just having a baby. So that is that. So now that we're here, wait. First off, Voodoo, were there any of the bouts that fizzled that you were looking forward to see, like these ones
Oh
here?
man. Oh, hey, look, man. Kamaru Usman Burns has been long overdue, man. I can't wait to get that one. Amanda Nunes. I'm always excited to see Amanda, especially against Megan Anderson. But I know how that one's gonna go down. Megan Anderson's gonna get
Yeah.
taken down immediately and pounded, grounded, and pounded. But the Carla Esparza I was looking forward to. Tisha Torres, Angela Hill 2, I was looking forward to. I believe Tisha Torres won the first one. Pietra Yang and
Yep.
Aljamain Sterling, I was looking forward to that one too. But everything else, those are the main ones that I was looking forward to. Straight up.
Yeah. Oh man, that Carla Esparza Amanda Ribas one. That one was like, oof, man. I just wanted to see how that goes down. And Don McGuire said, "Sup, homies? What's good, Don McGuire? Glad to have you here. The fighter's
What up,
voice.
Don?
Yeah, man. So thank you for being here with us. Now, yeah. So now the recalibrated card starts off in the featherweight division because we have Chase Hooper, who's 9-1-1, and he's going up against one Peter Barrett, who's 11
Mm-hmm.
and 4. So we've got
Mm-hmm.
Slippy Pete Barrett. That's what his name is, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And he trains out of Joe Lozon's mixed martial arts school, as well as Sit Yadong Boston. So they've. I mean, that's where Mark De La Grande is. They churned out Jorge Rivera, an OG in the UFC. So that's cool, right? And then we go to the other side of the bracket where we have essentially Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper is a former champion of another organization. I want to believe it was, and maybe guys, you can help me out in terms of figuring out what belt this is. Um, I'm not sure what belt that is, but he's a
I have
champion
no
of
idea.
another organization. Right, absolutely. But he's a champion of another organization, and I think that carries weight. Now, Don McGuire says, I think Barrett will school him. So, Voodoo, I want to get your thoughts on it.
Barrett is clearly the experienced fella here. But then I'm looking at his ways of losing, and he's lost his arm twice. Bobby Flynn took his arm home. T.J. Brown took his arm home, and Connor Barry took his arm home. That's three people with three different arm bars. Guess what Chase Hooper's working on right now, as we speak? That arm bar. Now, clearly, Mr. Barrett is the best, is the more what Barrett, right? What's the man's name? Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett.
Sleepy Pete.
Peter Barrett.
Yeah.
He's clearly the more experienced. One, he's got more wins than the kid has fights. Two, he's got four losses. You either win or you learn. So he's got more knowledge and more experience. However, this kid is very durable. Every time I see him fight, he's improving. The last person he lost to is Alex Caceres. But when
Yep.
you look at how the kid likes to win, he takes your back, you're going to sleep. Lots of rear naked chokes, lots of guillotines. Yeah, he's knocked somebody out before, but I'm not a big believer in his punching power or anything like that. But his jiu-jitsu, the boy is good. His jiu-jitsu is damn near second to none. He's very, very good on the ground. If he gets you to the ground, if he gets Peter Barrett to the ground, Peter's going to have a handful of problems. And this is a very, 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 very tough fight to pick because of Peter Barrett's experience. I have to give him his respect, but the kid's jiu-jitsu is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. So if Peter Barrett follows the blueprint Alex Caceres left for everyone to beating Cooper, then he can win. But the question is, does he have the footwork? Does he have the footwork to stay moving? Is he going to keep moving? Because it's going to take consistent footwork to be able to beat this Chase Hooper. You have to be able to move your feet. You got to throw the jabs, keep them back, front kicks and roundhouse kicks, side kicks. He's capable of doing these things. These are the questions that need to be answered. And we will find out come Saturday. However, if I have to pick, you know what? I'm going with the underdog Chase Hooper to win this one by submission. That's my pick.
Okay. That's cool. That's
yes,
cool.
Indeed.
No,
that's my pick.
I like it.
What do you say?
I like it. Well, Don McGuire says Barrett has tremendous heart. You know what? We're gonna go with. Oh, you can't hear me?
I don't believe I can hear you.
Oh, damn it! I'm gonna drop out.
Yeah. So, what say you guys out there? I mean, what do you think? What do you think about the dream Chase Hooper? Do you believe Chase Hooper has what it takes to beat a veteran? Do you think Chase Hooper has what it takes to beat the veteran, Peter Barrett? What say you out there? What say you? I think the kid losing to Alex Caceres taught him a lot, and the fact that he improves so much every time he steps to the table, I think he's gonna be he might not be the better striker come Saturday, but I'm sure he's the better jiu-jitsu artist, and the fact that he's able to take a beating to get to where he needs to be, I think if he closes that distance, Peter Barrett is gonna have a whole lot of problem in his hands. So I'm picking Alex Caceres. What say you, sir? I mean, not Alex Caceres. I'm sorry, Chase Hooper.
Well, it seems like it seems like Alex Caceres.
Well, is it me that can't hear you, or do I need to go out and come back?
No, I think you might.
I can't hear you.
Oh gosh. Maybe it's me fooling around with the thing.
Hey, let me go out and come back, okay? I'll be back.
Okay. But so Don McGuire says I personally don't think so. My pick ratio is 98%. So Don McGuire is going with Barrett. So that's that. Why not? I'm gonna go there.
He said, I think
Why not?
will school him.
Yeah.
Hey.
So.
Hey, Barrett just traded Joe Lozon, so I'm sure his ground game will be significant. But we will see. I'm gonna
go with Barrett.
Man, I still can't hear you. What is going on?
Oh, damn it!
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
I can't hear you.
I can't
hear you.
Jesus, hold on.
All right. So, you feel Chase Hooper is gonna get schooled, huh? Oh man, that's gonna okay. I mean, let's look at the kid's record. He's only lost one fight. It's not like he's. Yes, he probably hasn't fought the same competition as Mike check.
Hey.
Nope. I can't hear you. Check if you're muted. Yeah. I mean, when I go back, the kid was undefeated as an amateur. He won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights in a row before he finally lost to Alex Caceres. Peter Barrett. Who's he fought? Let's see who Peter's fought. Let's go back and see who Peter's fought. Yusuf Zalal. I know Yusuf Zalal. He lost to Yusuf Zalal. Shang Hong Yu. He beat Zach Disabatino. He beat He beat Jay Ellis. I don't know. Vince McGuinness. I don't know. Jeremy Davis. Jeff Anderson. Keenan Raymond. Okay, so look. Okay, I don't know the guys that he's beaten as well. So it seems like they're in the same boat. But your guy Peter Barrett does have more experience. You know, and he also Sityodtong Boston Muay Thai. So Muay Thai tells me that he's going to be a whole lot more flat-footed than moving feet. You know, because Muay Thai tends to be more flat-footed. So Muay Thai tends to bang, stand and bang. I mean, with hands and feet, of course, slamming shin to body and stuff like that. So Muay Thai is awesome. Don't get me wrong, I love Muay Thai. It's just that it seems this Muay Thai fella is custom made for Chase Hooper. Mic check. I can't hear you. Let me go again. Oh, you went out. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to slow you down any further. So let's take a look at the second match. The second match is who is this? Who are you guys? Okay. So the second match we have Tisha Torres versus Sam Hughes. Now Tisha Torres previously was scheduled to face Angela Overkill Hill. However, Angela Overkill Hill lost to COVID-19. So now Sam Hughes from RFA has stepped up. What do we know about Sam Hughes? Well, we know Sam Hughes already has 6 fights, right? She's won 5 and she's lost only 1. Now, as an amateur, she had a lot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 amateur fights. She lost 3. So, she's lost. She knows what it feels like to lose. But then she became a pro and she won 4 straight until she ran into Vanessa Demopoulos, LFA champion, in which she lost by inverted triangle choke. So I remember this girl. She's got great hands. And right after losing to Vanessa, she came back and she won another match against Daniela Hindley. You know what I mean? By guillotine choke. So she redeemed her loss. Well, she didn't beat Vanessa yet, but she came back and she won again. She is able to win again. Now she's in there against UFC veteran Tisha Torres. Tisha Torres, and that knows Tisha Torres knows she's about that business. She's about that life. What, 11 wins, 5 losses? Now, who has Tisha lost to? Who has she beat and who has she lost to? Well, when you go back to Tisha's amateur career, Tisha was undefeated as an amateur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights. Absolute killer. She went in there. She's beaten Paige Van Zandt. She beat Rose Namajunas. She's beat Alicia Herring. She did lose to Ronda Marcos in a unanimous decision. Ronda is an excellent grappler. But then she came back and she beat Beck Rawlings. She beat Carla Esparza. Majority decision. She beat Angela. No. She lost to Carla Esparza. I take that back. She lost to Carla Esparza in the Ultimate Fighter. I believe that was when she won. Carla Esparza first won that title. And then she went in there against Angela Manana, beat Angela Hill. She beat Joyce Libarga. She lost to Rose Namajunas. Came back against Beck Rawlings, Juliana Lima, Michelle Waterson, and then she lost 4 straight against murderers. Jessica Andrade, power hand, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, the queen of the strawweights, Zhang Weili, the current queen, the current undisputed, smash your face in if you step to me. And then she lost to Mariana Rodriguez in a beautiful unanimous decision win for Mariana. However, it was an excellent performance. But then she went in there against Brianna Van Buren and beat Brianna Van Buren. Now she's in there against Sam Hughes. Now, Sam Hughes, excellent striker, but I am a little skeptical about her ground game. But we do know that Tisha Torres is a complete fighter. Complete. They don't get more complete than her. She's always jacked and ready to go. You know what I mean? She's got cardio for days. She's gonna drag this newcomer Sam Hughes, whom I like. Gonna drag her into deep waters, the deepest part of the Pacific, and let her swim. And at some point, she's gonna get tired, and you know what comes next? Suffocation. Suffocation. No breathing. She's going out. At least by the third, she will be stopped in the third. No problem. Tisha Torres by stoppage. I'm seeing ground and pound. Oh man, I
I
still
love
can't
that.
hear you, man. What's going on here?
Damn it.
You know, why
Damn
don't you
it.
stay
Damn
and
it.
let me go? I stay and
Okay.
you go. Why don't hey
Okay.
can you guys hear? Can you guys hear according to Woods? It's probably me and not you. Please
Okay.
write in the chat if you can hear him.
Go, go ahead and jump out, and then let's see if
I'm
that
gonna go
works.
and come back, okay?
Okay. So Voodoo gave you his kind of assessment, which I love, right? I love his assessment of Tisha Torres, the tiny tornado. But so I have actually seen Sam Hughes or Sam Page. Sam Page. It's like Rampage, but Sam. I get it. But essentially, Sam Hughes. Yes. So Sam Hughes,
Uh-oh.
I saw her way back at LFA. Still nothing.
I
Nothing.
still can't hear you.
Okay. All right.
Hey, this
I'm
is a
gonna.
first, and we're gonna make it happen anyway. Hey, this is a very interesting day for us. Uh, either way, we're gonna the show must continue. We're gonna keep it going. The tiny tornado, like I said, will be winning this one. I'm not if you can hear him, but he's got lots of gems that he's spewing out there. We just can't hear him yet. But Tisha Torres, like I said, and then we move on to the next match, which is between Billy Quarantillo and Gavin Tucker. Billy Quarantillo and Gavin Tucker. That right there, understand, possible fight of the night. I've come to respect Billy Quarantillo simply because of one thing. Man is not afraid. He's not afraid. He's not going to hide behind his jiu-jitsu. He's got great jiu-jitsu, phenomenal jiu-jitsu, and he will not hide behind his jiu-jitsu. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. He doesn't hide behind his jiu-jitsu. He goes out there and he bangs it out when he has to. When you go back to the beginning of his career, he only lost twice as an amateur, and he won 2, 4, 6, 8 times. You know what I mean? He fought 10 times, he lost 2, and that is not a bad start. And then he started. He lost to J.P. Reese. Then he went on a win streak. He lost to Saul Rogers at the Ultimate Fighter Season 2. And then he also lost to Michael Quinones, Michelle Quinones at Absolute Fight Championship 25. But then he went on a win streak. You know what I mean? King of the Cage, contender, UFC contender, UFC on ESPN 7, Jacob Kilburn. He beat that guy by triangle. He Spike Carlisle, our good buddy. You know what I mean? Took that guy out. He fought Kyle Nelson, right cross, knocked his block off his shoulder. And now he's got Gavin Tucker. Gavin Tucker is, I believe, 12-1. Yes, Gavin Tucker is 12-1, and he's also a Canadian. They call him the governor. The governor. That's right. The governor. The governor is here to do things. The governor is here to put it down. The governor doesn't have much of an amateur record. However, upon starting his career, undefeated, win streak 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then he finally lost to Ricky Glenn by unanimous decision. He must. This was on the fight card of Nunes versus Shevchenko 2 back in 2017. So then he came back, and Song Woon Choi, he finished him by rear naked choke. Then he fought Justin Janus, Double J, Double J from last week, who got hit with a knee to the liver and got dropped immediately. He beat that guy by rear naked choke, and now he's got Billy Quarantillo. Billy Quarantino, Gavin Tucker. Understand this right here, possible fight of the night. Somebody's going home with $50,000. Either they both go or one goes. Somebody's gonna either get submitted or somebody's gonna get knocked out, or both are gonna go home. For a fact, understand, these two are gonna go at it. Now, when we have two individuals that are so close in skill level, I gotta go with the guy with more fights, Billy Quarantino. And I like the way he fights. I like the way he performs. The guy is close to flawless. Close to flawless. I love the way he fights. But Gavin Tucker is no pushover either. It just so happens that Gavin Tucker is 44 featherweight in the world, and Billy Quarantino is 41. You know, it is what it is. We do what we must. So we're going with Billy Quarantino to win this one by submission in the third. And then in the next fight, we have another slobber knocker in the lightweight division. We have the UFC veteran in Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano. This Renato Moicano is a force to be reckoned with. He has been in there with the very best in the UFC. He started off his career, no amateur record. He started off his career doing things. He went on a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 fight, 11 fight win streak. He's even beaten the likes of Jeremy Stevens until he ran into the very dangerous Brian Ortega, in which he was submitted in the third round by guillotine choke. And then he went in there and fought Calvin Kattar. You know, if you know Calvin Kattar, you know what kind of fighter that guy is. And this man was able to beat him by unanimous decision. Understand, the takedown, the jiu-jitsu, you're going to see a whole lot of it. Then he went in against Cub Swanson. Guess what? Rear naked choke, Cub Swanson. But then he ran into the likes of Jose Aldo, the former, actually, I believe he's still the king of Rio, but the former long-time reigning champion of the 145-pound division. And then he went in there against Chung Sung Jun, lost to him 2 fights straight, but then he finally got it back together. He beat Damir Hadzovic by rear naked choke. Now he's fighting the incomparable Rafael Fiziev. Now, what do we know about Rafael Fiziev? We know that Rafael Fiziev has 9 fights as a professional. No record of an amateur career. But he started off his career with a 4-5 win streak, beating the likes of Shen Yong Kim, you know what I mean, at Road FC. He did finally lose to Leighton Collymore, Muay Thai bout. He lost to Muay Thai bout by unanimous decision. But then he came back. He came back to mixed martial arts. He won 2 straight, and then he ran into Magomed Mustafaev. Spinning back kick. Sounds like a whip kick. And punches. So he lost to the spinning back kick. He got dropped, possibly a liver shot of some sort, and then he got hands put on him on the ground. But then he bounced back from that, came back, beat Alex White, beat Marcus Diakis by unanimous decision. And now he's facing Renato Moicano. Now, when you look at the people that Renato Moicano, even though this fella is an excellent Muay Thai artist, excellent, he's gonna have to knock out Renato Moicano to beat him, and I'm not sure he's gonna be able to do that. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure he's gonna be able to do that. I see Renato Moicano taking him down, keeping him down, and submitting him no later than the third round. You might even see the submission in the second. This fight, either an immediate knockout of Renato Moicano or a systematic destruction of his opponent. But either way, I've got Moicano winning this one by submission no later than the third. You might even see it in the second, but no later than the third for a fact. Now, We're moving on to the featherweight division. Now, this man here, Cub Swanson, coming back from knee injury. This man has been around since the days of WEC. Days of the WEC. Dude, I think he's been around since before amateur fighting in California. But either way, his first fight, he lost to some dude named Shannon, Total Combat. But then he went on a win streak. He learned from that particular fight, went on a win streak. He beat everyone he came in contact with. And then he ran into the former champ of the 155-pound division back in the W. Now we're talking, by the way, let me go back and clarify. This man is a renaissance man in regards to MMA. He's fought in King of the Cage. He was a household name in King of the Cage. Then the WEC became the next best thing. Back then, the WEC was the only place at the 155-pound division, if I'm correct. Yeah, before the UFC had the 155-pound division, WEC had the 155-pound division, and this is where he made his home. And he was here. He finally lost to Jens Pulver, but then he went another 2-fight win streak. But then he came back and he fought Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo beat him fairly quickly with a double flying knee, highlight reel type knee. Smashed him in the face and dropped him immediately. I remember it vividly. I remember seeing it. But then he came back against John Franchi and guillotine choked that guy. Then he ran into Chad Mendes. No disrespect, Sean. Chad Mini Mendes. Conor McGregor, man, that dude is just brilliant. Called him Chad Mini Mendes. Anyways, he lost to Chad Mendes, but came back against Mackenzie Samirzier. Beat that guy by split decision. Lost to Ricardo Lamas in his first bout in the UFC. UFC on Fox 1. Ricardo Lamas by arm triangle. But then he went on a win streak. He beat Roop. He beat Pearson. He beat Charles Oliveira, who's also fighting on this card. He beat Dustin Poirier. He beat Dennis Siva. He beat Jeremy Stevens. And then he ran into Frankie Edgar. He lost by neck crank. He also lost to former champion Max Holloway by guillotine choke. Then he came back. He beat Diaz. He beat Kajiri. He beat Ho Choi in a classic. If you haven't seen that match, Cub Swanson versus Dong Ho Choi, it was Cub Swanson at his finest. He beat Dong Ho Choi by unanimous decision. He even went in there and beat Artem Lobov. And then he ran into Brian Ortega. Lost by guillotine choke. Another one against Frankie Edgar, lost by unanimous decision. He lost to the one we spoke about earlier, Renato Moicano, rear neck choke. He lost to Shane Burgos, split decision. Now, you want to ask yourself, why after 4 fights hasn't this guy been cut? See, when you have a dude like Cub Swanson, you don't cut a dude like that, because Cub Swanson, when he goes in that cage, he goes in there to give you his life. He goes in there to give you his life. He goes in there to give you everything he's got. So you don't cut a dude like Cub Swanson. You'll never see a Cub Swanson get cut for losing 4 straight. Even in the matches that he lost, he was absolutely phenomenal until he got caught or whatever. But then he fought the legendary Kron Gracie, the only Gracie that's fighting right now that I got love for. You know what I mean? So shout out to Kron Gracie, a true warrior, a true Gracie fighter. You know what I mean? But that's another story. I'm not gonna get into it. Jake Shields was another person that he lost to via grappling. However, Jake Shields is a big dude. Jake Shields is what? When he fought in the UFC, he fought as a 170 pounder. You know what I'm saying? Cub Swanson fights at 145. So there you go. Size advantage, jiu-jitsu advantage. Jake Shields win the grappling competition. Now, Daniel Pineda is his opponent. So these two fighters are legends of the sport. Pineda also goes back, way back to King of Combat. He's been in the Bellator. He's been in he's fought. He comes from Texas, so he fought out of the Texas regional circuit. You know, he lost some, he's won some. You know what I mean? He's been in Bellator, IXFA, Supreme Warrior Championship, King of Combat, Bellator 19, Legacy FC. And shout out to Legacy. You guys remember Legacy FC? He's been in there against Pat Shillings. He beat Pat Shillings in UFC Fox 1. UFC on Fox 1. Actually, both fighters were on the same card back then. Huh? I bet you they thought to themselves, "I'll see you in the future," and here we are in the future. And then he beat McKinn's Simir Zero. Lost to Mike Brown. Shout out to Mike Brown. He's now coaching. Mike Brown was the champion back in the WEC days until Jose Aldo came to town and took that title. He lost to Antonio Carvajal. He beat Justin Lawrence, but he lost to Diego Brandao. Diego back then was you know what I mean, before testing. Allegedly. He lost to Robert Whiteford, but he beat Leonard Garcia. Shout out to Leonard Garcia. That man is also one of them dudes from back in the days, back in the WEC days. He was upon his loss to Whiteford, he was bounced out of the UFC. Then he went back to Legacy FC. He fought a few times, fought in Bellator. You know what I'm saying? He came to LFA. He fought in LFA, Fury FC. He did his thing. The man worked his way back to the top. Is pretty much where I'm heading. You know what I mean? And then he came back. Upon coming back, he fought the very tough Herbert Burns in a grinder of a match. Herbert Burns put it on him. He put that beautiful jiu-jitsu on him, that flawless jiu-jitsu. But, you know, being the grizzled vet that he is, he figured at this pace, you, Herbert Burns, you're going to burn out. Sooner or later, you're going to burn out. And guess what's going to happen when you burn out? Guess what's going to happen? Crucifix. Terrible elbows. Smashed his block in. The referee had to come save little Burns. You know what I mean? Shout out to Herbert Burns, Gilbert Burns. Shout out to them dudes. That day on the 8/15/2020, he ran into a brick wall. But shout out to Daniel Pineda. Daniel Pineda, as you already know, comes to fight. He comes to fight. Comes to fight. Look at the record. Cub Swanson is 27-13. Daniel is 26-11. These two boys, understand, they are on their last legs. They're on their last legs. This is their last hurrah. Understand that this fight right here is another candidate for fight of the night in my book. These two are going to bring their A game. They're going to bring it, and they're going to come to smash something. Somebody's going to go home with something broken. Understand that. Understand that. For a fact. For a fact. I cannot wait to see this particular matchup. And then we move straight on into the heavyweight division, in which we have the legendary former champion, Junior Chigano dos Santos, making his return. Now, if you don't know about Chigano, understand that Chigano is one bad dude. In his time, he was one bad dude. He started off his career with a 5-5 win streak, and then he ran into Joaquin Ferreira, to whom he lost. And then he went on another multi-fight win streak. Now, right after he lost, he fought some fella named Jeronimo dos Santos, in which he won. And then he got his UFC start. Now, listen to the names of the people that he's beaten in the UFC. Fabricio Verdun, another former champ. Stefan Struve, knockout. Oh, by the way, first round knockout, Fabricio Verdun. Stefan Struve, first round knockout. Mirko Krokop, Mirko Filippo Krokop, third round knockout. Gilbert Yves, first round knockout. Gabriel Gonzaga, first round knockout. Roy Nelson, unanimous. You know Roy Nelson. The dude can take a punch. Roy Nelson. By the way, this is 10 years ago. He's fighting Roy Nelson. Unanimous decision. Roy Nelson, it's hard to knock him out. It's hard to knock him out, but he beat the living daylight out of Roy Nelson. And then he ran into Shane Carwin. If you don't know Shane Carwin, go back and study your history. Type in YouTube Shane Carwin. The man's fist is this big. One fist looks like that. But anyways, he beat Shane Carwin by unanimous decision, and he got his chance at the title. After beating Shane Carwin, if you can beat Shane Carwin, then they're thinking, dude, you're ready for a title shot. He went in there against Cain Velasquez in the first match. Guess what? First round, knockout. Caught him right behind the ear. Knocked his block off. And then he ran in there against Frank Mir, beat Frank Mir by knockout in the second round. And then Cain Velasquez came back and got his rematch. Cain beat him in a, oh my goodness, what a war. What a war. I believe personally that this particular second bout against Cain Velasquez was when the change occurred. JDS was never the same after this fight against Cain Velasquez because these two beat the living daylight out of each other. They beat the living daylight out of each other, and they went the distance. Unanimous decision win for Cain. Cain retains the title. And then he went in there against Mark Hunt, spinning heel kick, destroyed Mark Hunt in the third. And then he got his rematch against the champ, Cain Velasquez. This one went 25, almost 25. It went 2 minutes, 22 minutes of carnage, 22 minutes of pure chaos. And Cain Velasquez, Cain Velasquez, he's not the biggest dude around, but he's the little engine that could. Cain Velasquez kept going. He just kept pushing the pace. He pushed JDS so much that JDS was unable to continue in the fifth round. Just stayed in a covered position, covered his face, and kept his face from getting smashed in and mashed into ketchup. You know what I mean? And then he went in there against Stipe. He beat Stipe. Your current champion, JDS, has beaten him by unanimous decision. And then he went in against Alistair Overeem. Alistair caught him with his crazy looping hook and knocked him out in the second round. He beat Ben Rothwell. He fought Stipe in their rematch. Stipe was able to win this time by knockout. And then he went in there against Biagoy Ivanov, unanimous decision. Tui Tuivasa, second round knockout. Derek Lewis, second round knockout. Francis Ngannou. Francis hit a hook, a vicious hook that sat him down and took 10 years off his life. He went in against Curtis Blades. He lost against Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades, he's got that terrible grappling. And then he went in there against Jorginho Rosenstruck. Right hook did it, and that was it. Now he's fighting his newcomer, Cyril Gane. I hope I said his name. Cyril Gane. This man is from France. This man, Bongamin, is his nickname. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it's something having to do with big, giant black dude. Anyways, the young man doesn't have any amateur information. However, he's beaten someone by front choke. Somebody named Bobby Sylvan. He beat him by front choke. He beat everyone. He even fought Tanner Boza. He fought Tanner Boza in his third match in the UFC. He beat Tanner Boza soundly. Prior to that, he beat a fella by arm triangle. He did another one by heel hook. He's got some jiu-jitsu. But understand, when he fights JDS, ain't gonna be no ground game here. These two are gonna be two giant men slinging lead at each other, and somebody's gonna go to sleep. Now, I've seen this big fella, this Gane fella. The dude's got excellent kickboxing. His kickboxing is fantastic. It's almost second. Well, I wouldn't say second to none. That's a stretch, but it's very good. Let's just say it's very good. He's going up against JDS, who is a superb boxer. Now, when you go in there with primarily these only, JDS kicks, but JDS doesn't kick as much as this kid. This kid kicks a whole lot more JDS. He's got these as well, and he's got knees. You know, Sagat. What is that famous art in France? Sagat or something like that. Those guys know how to kick. One, they know how to kick. They know how to punch. He's good with his elbows. He's good with his knees. How do I know? I saw him do everything he wanted to Tanner Boza, smashing him in all ways possible. But you know, Tanner Boza, he's the bulldozer. He doesn't go down for nobody. He did lose by unanimous decision, but not once did he go down or quit. So shout out to Tanner Boza. Now, he's going up against Junior Dos Santos. Junior Dos Santos got what? 8 losses? 8 massive losses. His last recent losses have been by knockout. So I do not see Junior Dos Santos beating this kid. If Junior Dos Santos beat this kid, it's a phantom punch that knocked the kid out. He's going to have to kill this kid to beat this kid. And I don't see him killing this kid. So I'm going with Serial Game to win this one. No later than the second round. These guys are huge fellas. Huge, long fellas. So I love Junior Dos Santos. He's been, I mean, like we were saying earlier, man, these dudes, they've sacrificed a whole lot to entertain us. And Junior Dos Santos, one of those dudes that sacrificed a whole lot. I'm talking about brain cells that he would never recover again. It is what it is. This is the nature of the beast. This is another reason why we're calling for the UFC to pay these fighters what they're worth. I mean, mixed martial art is the supreme art on the planet. All other athletes look up to MMA fighters. You know what I'm saying? They all look up to MMA fighters because, truth be told, MMA fighters are the supreme athletes on this planet. There is no athlete that comes close to an MMA fighter. What, you say football player? A football player? Football players take breaks. They take breaks in between plays. You know what I'm saying? They take breaks. MMA fighters fight continuously for 5 minutes per round. There was a time where the whole thing, the whole match was unlimited time. I've seen MMA fighters fight for 25 minutes straight back in Japan. What was that? I mean, back in UFC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unlimited time until somebody loses. Back in Pride. You know? So MMA fighters are supreme athletes. Second to none. Why are they getting paid chump change? This is the question. Last week we talked about Ovin St. Preux. And we talked about how Ovin St. Preux, at least Ovin St. Preux, will make a doctor's pay. You know what I mean? Why is Ovin St. Preux making a doctor's pay? Why isn't Ovin St. Preux making millions of dollars? For that fight last week, and he got toe tagged, Ovin St. Preux should have made at least $5 million for that fight. These boxers are making millions of dollars, and they are not on the same level as an MMA fighter. I mean, truth be told, let's put it all on the table, folks. Put it on the table. There is no athlete that's comparable to an MMA fighter, not one. And I mean, if you guys feel there's one, let me know. Well, what is this sport? First of all, what, rugby? There is no comparison to an MMA fighter. This is the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? Cream of the crop. You know, the cream always rises to the top. These are the cream. MMA fighters are the cream, and they deserve respect. You know what I mean? So UFC, pay your fighters, please. Pay them what they're worth. Now, moving on to the next bout. In the 185 division middleweight, we have the number 16, Kevin Holland versus Jacare. Oh, wait a minute. Is it Mackenzie Dern? Oh, no. Yeah. It's Kevin Holland and Jacare Souza. I love that guy. I love when he did this. Jacare Souza, a veteran of the sport. Now, before we even talk about Kevin Holland, let's pay respect to Jacare Souza. The man is a legend, a Brazilian legend. You know what I mean? Brazilian legend. So let's follow the history of Jacare so you understand who this man is. Jacare. What is his nickname? I forget. Doesn't matter. So upon beginning his career, he lost 2 in a row, and I'm guessing from well, the first one was a grappling bout in which he lost to Saulo Ribeiro, and then he began his MMA career. He fought for Jungle Fight. He lost to Jorge Patino, but then 2-fight win streak, and then again he lost. He lost to Barrio Estima. Oh, Estima is dope. Even I know that guy. He's a jiu-jitsu champion. Estima is dope. If you don't know Estima, Burilo Estima, look him up. Look him up. He lost to Damian Maya. Most of his first encounters were grappling matches. He lost to Roger Gracie. First he beat Roger Gracie in 2004, and then he lost to Roger Gracie in 2005. Grappling. He fought a Roger Gracie again. He beat Roger. He lost to Roger. He beat Roger, and then he came back and he beat Barilo Estima. He beat him in 2005, IBJJF. But then he truly started his MMA career. He beat Alexander Shlemenko. That dude was pretty bad. I remember him in Jungle Fight. Then he went on a win streak. Now he's found himself. He started off by losing. Now he's found himself. Now he's just tearing through folks. He's still in San Paolo Jungle Fight, and then he came to America finally. I guess he landed in Ohio, in which he beat Billy Vucic. He beat Jose Gomez. He beat Wendell Santos. He beat Ian Murphy. He beat Jason Miller. If you guys know, Jason Mayhem Miller, he beat that guy in Japan in Dream 4. He beat some other fella in Dream. And then he lost to Gegard Mousasi. If you listen to us, you know the praise that we give Gegard Mousasi. He beat Gegard. He lost to Gegard in Dream 6, in which Gegard hit him with an up kick. I guess Gegard was on his back and he kicked up. Bam! Never stand in anyone's guard that's on their back. They're gonna kick your face off. You know what I mean? I guess he learned from that. He fought Jason Miller again, in which there was a no contest. There was a cut from an illegal kick, but and then he went on another win streak. You know what I mean? Now he grappled Robert Drysdale. He beat him in 2009 ADCC. This man is a grappling wizard. Shaka Sosa is a grappling wizard. You know what I mean? So he won another grappling championship, and then he came into Strikeforce, in which he destroyed Matt Lindland. He destroyed Villasenor. That dude was pretty good. He beat Tim Kennedy. If you know Tim Kennedy, that dude is a Navy SEAL. He's special forces, a man killer. This dude can kill a man with his hands. If he beat a guy that can kill a man with his hands, he could kill a man with his hands too. That's what that means. He beat Robbie Lawler by rear naked choke. Lost to Luke Rockhold. He grappled Estima again. He lost to Estima. Brian went back to Strikeforce. He beat Marine. He beat Derek Bronson. He beat Ed Herman. All these are Strikeforce. And then he starts his career in UFC on Fox 8. He beat Chris Camozzi. He beat Yushin Okami. Francis Comont. I remember that dude. That dude used to train with GSP. I don't know if he still does. And then he had his rematch against Gegard Mousasi, in which he beat him by guillotine choke. And then he beat Chris Camuzzo again. By the way, Jacare was a Strikeforce champion, just so you know. He lost to Yoel Romero on UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor. He lost to Vitor Belfort, but this isn't your average Vitor Belfort. This is 2016 Vitor Belfort. You know what people like to refer to him as. Yeah, this is before USADA. This is when you could take all the hormone therapy you could take, you want. So Vitor was jacked. Remember jacked Vitor with the neck from here to ear. You know what I mean? So he had to fight that guy, and he beat that guy. By the way, he beat that guy. He beat Tim Boach. He lost to Robert Whitaker. Head kick dropped him, and then he got punched out. He beat Derek Bronson again in the UFC. Beat him in Strikeforce. Beat him here. Head kick knockout. And then he ran into the little engine that could. Kevin Gastelum. I'm telling you, Kevin Gastelum does not belong in the 185-pound division. Kevin Gastelum belongs in the 170-pound division because he's a little dude. You know what I mean? At 185, he's fat. And he's fat and he's slow. You know what I mean? He's not at his best at 185. But yet, Kevin Gastelum was able to beat Jacare. And then Jacare came back against Chris Weidman, whooped on Chris Weidman, knocked his block off. He lost to Jack Hermanson. He lost to Jan Blachowicz. Jack Hermanson just fought last week against Vittori. These guys are top contenders. You know what I mean? Jan Blachowicz is the current 205 champion. As soon as the former champ, the undisputed Johnny Bones Jones, vacated the title, Jan Blachowicz was one that picked up the mantle and picked up the ball and started running with it. Now we have Jacare with 2 losses in a row, facing a young Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is, I believe he's making himself a household name now. The man calls himself Trailblazer, and who is he blazing the trails? What has he done in his career? What has he done? As an amateur, he was flawless. He won what? 5 fights in a row, and he was like, you know what, man? These dudes are too easy for me. Let me go find some real competition. Not only find some real competition, let me get paid for it. So now he's doing this thing, getting paid. He started with a streak, and then he lost by a unanimous decision to Ramil Mustafayev at GSC. And then he lost to Rafael Lovato Jr. And you know that dude can grapple, former Bellator champion. And then he beat Sam Liera, but he lost to Florentino at XKO. And then he went on another win streak, King of the Cage, XKO. Back to King of the Cage, Supernova. But then he fought Curtis Millender, LFA 13, Millender versus Holland, headline. Millender beat him by unanimous decision. You know what I mean? Millender was able to put it together a lot better than him, and there you go. He fought Muay Thai against Matt Foster. He beat Matt Foster by knockout. He fought Grady Hurley. He beat that guy by knockout. He beat Bubba McDonald's, I think, Muay Thai. He beat that guy by spinning elbow. Ooh, love, love, love. He beat Hayward Charles by knockout. He beat Teagan Dooley by triangle choke. He beat Will Santiago, unanimous decision. I mean, when he wins by unanimous decision, understand that it's not just a unanimous decision win. It's poetry in motion. The boy understands movement. The boy understands distance. The boy understands how to kick, how to punch, how to throw elbow, how to be dynamic. The boy is a dynamic trailblazer. Now, he lost to Thiago Santos by unanimous decision in the Dillashaw versus Garbrandt 2 fight back in 2018. But then, you know, Thiago Santos is a huge man, 205er. You know what I mean? He lost to that guy. He beat William Santiago at the Contender Series. Dana White wasn't too impressed because he was talking. Dana White wasn't too impressed with him. So even though he won, they didn't pick him. But then Thiago Santos lost his fight partner, and they needed someone to fight Thiago Santos. You know, the guy with the hammer on his chest. You know what I mean? That guy, you know, he's a force to be reckoned with. So they're calling folks, hey, who want to fight him? Nobody want to fight him. They called my man Trailblazer. Trailblazer was let's roll. Trailblazer came through. You know what I mean? Thiago is way bigger than him. You know what I mean? He was able to out wrestle him and just manhandle him. But he never quit. He was still talking. You know what I mean? So bottom line, this dude is a fighter. He comes to fight. He's not afraid of no one. No one. He doesn't give a damn who you are. So after losing Thiago Santos, he earned his respect from Dana White. And now, you know, well, as far as Dana White is concerned, he's a household name. So he now he's getting full camps. You know what I mean? No more short notice. Full camps. He beat John Phillips. He beat Kyle Short. He beat Joe Mearchat, MR3 or whatever that dude's name is, GM3 whatever. He beat Chirico by unanimous decision. He lost to Brandon Allen by rear naked choke. Brandon Allen, that kid is good. That kid is good. You know what I mean? Brandon Allen caught him, and he was able to choke him out. And he also lost to Anthony Cronce, but that's grappling. I don't count grappling against them. But anyways, he beat Anthony Hernandez soundly, knee to the body, ground and pound. He beat Joaquin Buckley. That right cross sent him flying flat on his back. The knockout was so vicious that the referee jumped right in there and stopped that match. He beat Darren Stewart. He beat Charles Ontiveros. Verbal submission. Ah! He almost broke his neck. He slammed him down, damn near broke the dude's neck. And now he's back. He's back. He was supposed to fight Fiore last week, but he caught COVID. Now he's back against Jacare Souza. Now, the question is, Jacare is an established fighter, former champion at Strikeforce, against this young, new, up-and-coming fighter. The kid has lost a lot by submission. But here's a catch. The kid is fast. The kid is dynamic. The kid understands distance. Jacare is older. Jacare is not dynamic. Jacare is a dynamic grappler. But then Jacare has to close that distance, take the kid down, put him on the fence, take him down, submit him. Now, can Jacare do this in 15 minutes? I don't believe Jacare can do that to the kid in 15 minutes. I believe the kid might not be able to knock out Jacare because he has to play it safe. And in playing it safe, he's going to stick and move, like Biggie. Stick and move. Shout out to Biggie Smalls, rest in peace. The kid is going to have to stick and move. And in sticking and moving, he might not be able to set up the kill shot. To set up the kill shot, you have to sit and steal energy from the ground that's going to pass through your legs and end up on the fist or on the shin. I don't think the kid is going to risk getting taken down and never getting back up, or probably never waking up until the referee wakes him up. I don't think he's going to risk it. I think he's going to fight Jacare real smart, and he's going to win by unanimous decision. Points. You're going to see flawless movement. You're going to see sticking and moving. You're going to see Kevin Trailblazer Holland continue to win. That's what you're going to see. Kevin Holland wins this one by unanimous decision. He won't get the knockout, but he will get the unanimous decision. I can almost guarantee that. Now, we're moving on to the strawweight division. Strawweight division, in which we have, well, I believe they're both Brazilians. Hey, look. By the way, Mr. Woods is having technical difficulties. But as you can see, all these things that's flashing in and out, that's Mr. Woods in the background doing this. You know what I mean? Though he's got technical difficulties, understand that he's there. He's there pulling the strings. He's pulling the strings. Shout out to Mr. Woods. Adam Woods, I'm there every day. According to Woods, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. There he is right there. I told you he's in the back. He's there pulling strings. So in the next match, we have Mackenzie Dern. I believe she's Brazilian, but here it says she's an American. I guess she became an American, but I know she's Brazilian. So we have two Brazilians facing off each other. Now let's start with Mackenzie Dern. Okay, Mackenzie Dern, no amateur record. However, she started off grappling, right? 2015 ADCC champion. You know what I mean? She ran through everyone in Legacy FC that she ever came into contact with. She ran into everyone that she ever came into contact with in LFA. She beat them all. She beat Roy, Polk, Medeiros, Yoder, and then now Ashley Yoder was actually her first competition in the UFC, in which she won by split decision. So it was a tough match. But, you know, this is the highest level, man. Of course it's going to be a tough match. But then she got in there against Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas was supposed to fight the first strawweight champion. I forget her name. This is one of the matches we were looking forward to. But Cookie Monster. She was supposed to fight the Cookie Monster, but it didn't happen. I was so looking forward to that match. But Amanda Ribas is no joke. Understand that her jiu-jitsu is top notch. Now, Mackenzie Dern's jiu-jitsu also is top notch. So, in regards to jiu-jitsu, they cross each other out. But Amanda Ribas got hands. She got hands. So she was able to put hands on Mackenzie Dern, and she gave Mackenzie Dern her first loss ever. Now, she steps in there against in her return against Hannah Cipher. She beat Hannah Cipher by knee bar. She beat Randa Marcos, Grizzle veteran, by armbar in the first round. And then she's on 2-5 win streak. Now she's fighting Vierna Jandiroba. Vierna Jandiroba, a UFC veteran, a jiu-jitsu ace. You know what I'm saying? Karkara is her nickname. Karkara. I don't know what that means, but Karkara sounds like something. Something vicious. Karkara. You know what I mean? Sicario. Remember that movie Sicario? When I hear Karkara, I hear Sicario. You know what I'm saying? So there we go. Now, this lady also has no amateur future. Past. But she does have a phenomenal start to her career. Regardless, she won 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 fights in a row. 14 fights in a row. Now, these fights took her through Bahia region, MMA superheroes. VFC, O'Reilly Arena, Circuito, and I guess these are all matches in Brazil. You know what I mean? Fight to Fight 1, Imperium MMA Pro, Fight to Fight 2, Invicta. Now Carla Esparza. Your first fight in the UFC and you run into Carla Esparza, the first strawweight champion in the world. You know what I mean? The very first. So, it's understandable that she lost against Carla Esparza. You know what I mean? At UFC on ESPN +8. Then she went on a win streak. She beat Mallory Martin. She beat Felicia Herring. And now she's got Mackenzie Dern. One thing that we know about Carla Esparza is her wrestling is superb. Her wrestling is superb, such that she was able to. When you have super wrestling like Carla Esparza, the Cookie Monster, when you have super wrestling and basic jiu-jitsu defense or basic submission defense, understand when someone is grabbing your neck, they're trying to choke you out. When they're trying to get your arm straight, they're trying to break your arm. When they're doing something, they're trying to twist. When you have a basic understanding of that, then the rest is easy. The rest is easy. Wrestling in this case is always more than likely superior to jiu-jitsu when the wrestler has a basic understanding of jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? It's always superior because wrestling is top dominance. You know what I mean? Jiu-jitsu is okay with that bottom dominance, right? But wrestling is top dominance, and what comes with top dominance is ground and pound. So unanimous decision win by Carla Esparza. But now we have two jiu-jitsu aces facing each other in Mackenzie Dern and Vierna Jandiroba. Jandiroba is 16-1. 16-1. Lots of experience. Now, if Jandiroba is to win this match, Jandiroba is going to have to strike. Flawless striking. We have to see some flawless striking from her. And the fight will make it to the ground. Understand it will make it to the ground, but ground, I don't know, man. This one's a tough one to call, but the call must be made. I got to go with Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern is the up-and-coming fighter. I've been watching her train with Coach, and she's been looking good. Her boxing is improving. Her kickboxing is improving. You know what I mean? She was formerly at the Black House. She's not at the Black House anymore. Now she's with Coach in Can't remember. I can't remember. It doesn't matter where she's at. That's all I'm saying. Just understand that she is improving her striking. Her jiu-jitsu is second to none. She's a matchup. Mackenzie Dern all day. And then now we come to the co-main event of the evening. We have the number 3 light heavyweight in the world, Tony Ferguson, against Charles Oliveira, number 7. This particular matchup, possibly be fight of the night. You have 2 individuals who are excellent on the ground. Excellent on the ground. You're going to see excellent ground fighting if it goes to the ground. You know what I mean? You have Charles Oliveira, who has been improving upon his jiu-jitsu. He's been doing a lot of I take that back. His jiu-jitsu has always been superior, right? He's got the most submissions in the UFC, right? So his jiu-jitsu is awesome. Tony Ferguson, he's a black belt in Eddie Bravo's system, 10th Planet. The dude knows his way around on the ground. He can fight off his back. He can fight from the top. He can fight from the bottom. He's got excellent wrestling. He started off with wrestling, then he went into jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Which enhanced his jiu-jitsu, his wrestling base. You know what I mean? So if anyone has an edge on the ground, it's Tony Ferguson because of his wrestling prowess, right? And then when it comes to striking, Charles Oliveira's striking has gotten better. But Tony Ferguson, he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's coming off a terrible loss to whoever he lost to. It doesn't matter who he lost to, because I don't care who he lost to. I'm more focused on Tony Ferguson's future. I see Tony Ferguson going to this particular match and causing a bloodbath. I've been watching Tony Ferguson in his current recent interview yesterday. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Tony Ferguson's mindset is like he's on Mars right now. Tony Ferguson has no worries on his mind. Tony Ferguson is just looking forward to taking someone's life. And the UFC have driven this man mad. The man went on a 12-fight win streak in which he annihilated everyone, right? And then he lost. He lost to the guy he lost to. It doesn't matter who he lost to. Just understand that he lost. Now he finally loses, and he gets no love, no respect. He's been bumped down in the rankings. You know what I mean? The guy should actually be like 1 or 2, but he's been bumped down in the rankings, totally disrespected. You know what I mean? The company has always disrespected this man. Now he's back. He's back, and he's got vengeance on his mind. And guess what, Charles Oliveira? He's coming after you, young man. He's coming after you. Even if Charles Oliveira has all the advantages right now, I am not picking Charles Oliveira because Tony Ferguson is a madman right now. And a madman, I wouldn't call him a madman. That's disrespectful. I would call him a wounded tiger. What happens when you back a tiger into a corner? He's going to slash at you. He's going to do whatever it takes to stop you from breathing. And guess what Tony Ferguson is coming to do on Saturday? He's coming to make sure Charles Oliveira stops breathing. In this particular matchup, I'm going for Tony Ferguson. Fight in the night type fight. Tony Ferguson wins this one by any means necessary. Elbows, knees, backflip, front flip, name it. You're going to see Tony Ferguson do it all. Tony Ferguson wins this one, either by split decision or unanimous decision. I don't see him stopping Charles Oliveira because Charles has gotten bigger. You know what I mean? Tony is not that. He's not a knockout artist. So, I mean, he has knocked some people out, but this is going to be a long 15 minutes. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be the bludgeoning. So expect Tony Ferguson to win this particular match. And then we have the main event of the evening, in which we have Deus da Guerrera. Deus da Guerrera. I guess that means God of War. In which we have the God of War, Figueiredo, versus Brandon Moreno. Now, I'm not going to go into their history. I'm not going to go into their history. You know why I'm not going to go into their history? Because you already know their history. Just last week or 2 weeks ago, these two individuals fought, and they both won in the first round. Figueiredo fought, I believe he fought Perez. He beat Perez by guillotine choke. Brandon Moreno fought Brandon Royval. Royval had an injury and he couldn't continue. His shoulder popped out. I mean, you're not gonna fight on this level of Brandon Moreno with one shoulder popped out in terrible pain. So Brandon Moreno now is here. Brandon Moreno has been calling out Figueiredo. He's been calling the man out. He's been calling him out. And now Figueiredo, the champion, the God of War, has answered his prayers. Now we get to see in the main event, Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno for the title. Flyweight title. Number 1 versus number 2. Who do you pick? Who is your choice to win this particular matchup? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's one thing that I will add. That could be an advantage for Deiveson Figueiredo. The man is from the Amazon. The man is trained to eat things that are make a billy goat puke. The man is he's as raw as they come. The man is as raw as they come. The man, he rides bulls, for Christ's sakes. He rides bulls around his village. The dude rides bulls around his village. Brandon Moreno, on the other hand, from Mexico City. Second world, you know what I mean? He's got some luxuries. He's lived in luxury, you know what I mean? Compared to Deiveson Figueiredo from the Amazon rainforest, riding muddy floors. Hey, there is no paved road where this man comes from. It's all muddy. Huts. The man comes from huts. Huts! Understand what I'm saying to you. There is a psychological advantage that comes with people that comes from poverty. Not to say Brandon Moreno comes from riches, but he does come from a second world country. Second world, third world, huge difference. Huge difference. The same way second world and first world, huge difference. Second world, third. I am going with Deiveson Figueiredo. Oh, by the way, another candidate for fight of the night. Deiveson Figueiredo. I am picking him to retain this title and continue to save the flyweight division. This fight is gonna be bananas. It's gonna be bananas. You've got the God of War against Brandon Moreno. Oh my goodness. I mean, the God of War versus the Assassin Baby. The Assassin Baby. That's a funny nickname. But when he goes in there, he might look like a babyface. He will assassinate you if you allow him. So I do not believe the God of War is going to allow anyone, some babyface assassin or assassin baby, to stop him. You know what I mean? I just don't think so. I don't believe it's going to happen. I believe it's going to be a tough match for Figueiredo. He might have to take 6 months off after this particular matchup. But the man has been through hell his entire life. What's 25 minutes in Las Vegas against the Assassin Baby? I don't think that's nothing. I think Deiveson Figueiredo is going to win this one. Possibly by unanimous decision. Yes, I said it. Unanimous decision. I don't see him knocking out Moreno, and I don't see him submitting Moreno. Moreno's got very good stand-up, and he's got very good ground. I see Figueiredo out wrestling him, taking him down, controlling him. You know what I mean? Standing up, throwing massive power. I see Figueiredo being more of a complete fighter in this particular matchup than the Assassin Baby. So, I think God of War, Figueiredo wins this one. You know what? Split decision. It's going to be a tough match, but I see him winning by split decision. All right? So that brings us to the end of this particular prediction. Now, understand that without your support, none of this will be possible. So please go and like, share, and subscribe to this broadcast on Facebook and also on YouTube. Okay? There we go. You know. And then don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. You know, very happy to have you here with us for the support. According to Woods, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to that too. You know what I mean? There you go, right there. That's where you can find Voodoo Maximus all day, every day. You know how we get down. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you again on Sunday. So there you go. That is the breakdown for this particular UFC fight card. Remember, it's going to be on pay-per-view, UFC 256 on pay-per-view, coming to ESPN Plus near you. So on that note, I bid you